Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 155 of Sonic Boom TV. This is a record store day, closer look, opening, got it in the mail, all that kind of stuff, leftover video that I just got this record today. As we all know, record store day was a couple weeks ago. April 23rd, I believe it was, and we all went out there and bought what we could, and I didn't find all of the albums I wanted in my store. I came close. I had whittled it down to not 9 or 10, I don't remember. I think it was 10 total, and there were some that were on the borderline, and there were some that moved up to the top. Well, I got all the top ones except one, and all of the bottom ones except for two. So I knew a store they'll be in the next video, had one of the albums, and I knew they had a lot of copies. So I said, well, I'm going to try to get this from them tomorrow, but we'll see. So I went to the record store day, and the one album I couldn't find that became like one of my top real ones, because I found out that it was only a record store day exclusive, and it was really limited, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. And that would be the Soul Asylum MTV Unplugged record. So we didn't get it at my store. So the other one, I had waited. I was going to go online at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. Their East Coast time. I was Central time. And so I was up, and I think I got up at like 6 o'clock, and so I would be awake and prepared to try to get this record. And that would be the Kitty record, I should say. And while I was waiting, I decided that I would just do a search and see if anybody's got Soul Asylum available. So what I did was I just started putting in record stores, and anybody that had a website popped it up, looked at their inventory, not inventory, but what's for sale. If it didn't show up, didn't worry about it. Well, every one of them, either it wasn't on there or it said it was sold out. That doesn't mean they didn't have any copies. Maybe they didn't update their website yet, but I wasn't playing the game that way. I was just going to find somebody that had it in stock and go. And so I went, and I found a place called Plaid Room Records in Loveland, Ohio. And it said they had 38 copies. Now, this blew my mind. How did they get 38 copies of something that was supposed to be limited, very limited? Like, I don't remember how many copies it said. I'm thinking like 500 in my head, but I know it had to be more than that. But it was limited. It was real limited and hard to get. But they had 38 copies of it. So I'm like, okay, this is the website I'm going to get it from, because even if there's people trying to get it, I got a good chance of getting through. So I'm looking at it, and I keep refreshing the screen, because waiting for it to go live. And I was hoping maybe it would go a few minutes early, and I'd be able to get it early, like jump in line or whatever. And so I'm watching it, and about 15 minutes before it goes live, it goes to 37, and I was like, oh no. I said, it's maybe live in some places and people are getting it, but then it stayed that way. It didn't change again, and it never went live until 8 o'clock, or 7 o'clock their time, I guess, or 7 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock their time. But clicked on it, and so usually these things, you have to put your information in first, like your all your credit card or address and all that stuff, and then you go, like, that's once you get all that in, then you're in line. Well, this thing, when I clicked on it and put it in my cart and said go, I didn't put my information in yet, but it said that I was it gave me a thing, and it had a time limit. It said you know you're next in line. I expect to wait however long. It was like a minute, and then once I was in, it was my turn. So I guess you got put in line as soon as you said, you know, purchase or whatever, and you didn't have to have all your information ready. So then I went through and got my information ready, and once I got the order in, it said there was, I think, maybe 15 left, and I was like, wow. And then within the next couple of minutes, they were all gone, completely. But then it also said anything ordered on that Sunday may take 15 days to ship. And I'm like, what in the world would take it 15 days to ship? I mean, did they have that many? I mean, they had 38 copies of it. I don't know how big this store is, but did they have that much stuff that they were expecting to have to pack up that it was going to take them up to 15 days? Well, it took pretty much, I think it was Friday, the next Friday, before it got before they printed the packing slip. And then I went out on, I guess, Monday, because this one and the other one, they were racing, because they both were made, the labels were both made on Friday, but they both didn't go out until Monday. And they both got here exactly the same time, which is crazy, because one was in New Jersey, and one was in Ohio. The one in Ohio went up to Pittsburgh, and then somewhere else, and then back down to Tennessee. And the New Jersey one, who knows where it went? It stayed in New Jersey for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden it was disappeared. And then it was in Memphis, and then it got to New Orleans. So anyway, let's look at this. There's a long enough explanation. See what we got. So we got the nice package. This is a big box. It's got an extra little space in there, whatever, to do. So these boxes are nice. We got the record and some bubble wrap. Oh, looks like we got a sticker or something. All right. So, save that stuff. So we got, first of all, excuse me, the Plaid Room Records sticker. It's kind of nice. Getting a lot of stickers. I have to start sticking them on stuff. Got a little thank you card. Fit there. That's cover that guy's face up. I guess that's it from the inside of their store. Bob and Tom slinging records at the Ryan Geest Record Fair, July 2022. So that's not their store. And then a little note on the back, just saying, if something's wrong or whatever. So we got Soul Asylum, the complete unplugged New York City '93. This was $36.99. I think the shipping wasn't too bad, but it's the complete legendary 1993 MTV Unplugged performance of the multi-platinum Minneapolis Quartet for the first time on vinyl, newly mixed from the original tape, 16 tracks over 2 LPs, featuring 4 previously unreleased and unbroadcasted performances. I don't know if I've ever saw their MTV Unplugged. I probably did, but I can't remember it. But Soul Asylum was one of my favorite bands from the 90s, late 80s, I guess they might have came out. I have most of their albums, I think. Some of the newer stuff I've got on MP3s from the library or whatever, but I don't own physical copies at the moment. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get some vinyl from them. This is the second one I think I have for them on vinyl. So, but it's got Runaway Train, which is the song that, and it's first, which is weird. This is a song everybody knows, and it kind of makes people think they're a one-hit wonder, but they really were much more than that. Homesick, really good song. Never Really Been, good song. We Three, Get On Out, Black Gold, Grounded, Someone to Shove. Those are the first. Black Gold and Someone to Shove are their first 2 big hits, I think. To Sir with Love featuring Lulu. They did that one, I believe, on their other live album, the one that was from the prom or whatever, which I listened to earlier today, and that was like a benefit for a flood or something that happened up kind of up. I don't know what state, but it's supposed to be at a prom, but it sounds like it's in a whether the crowd noise is real or not that they put on there. it sounds like it's in a big venue, so I don't know if that's, technically a real live album or not, but we'll find out one day when I decide to look it up. And I don't know who Lulu is, but they do To Serve With Love on that. Anyway, New World, Without a Trace, good song. Closer to the Stars, I don't know that song. Summer of Drugs, that's a real good song. That is a cover song from Victoria Williams. The Sun Made, real good song. And then Stranger and Ooh La La, I'm not sure what those two are either. Fun fact, I used to do a comic book, and I did a convention in Louisiana. New Orleans, not New Orleans, it was more Metairie. Kenner, actually, Louisiana. And Dave Perner was there, because he lived in New Orleans for a while. I don't know if he's still hanging out down here or not. He's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. But he came up to my table, and I immediately recognized him, and I said, I told him, I said, I know who you are. And he's like, don't say anything to anybody, please. And I was like, oh, no, I wouldn't do that to you, man. And he bought several of my, things that I had out at the time. So I've always, and he asked for my autograph, and I didn't ask for his. I should have, but I didn't. But I didn't have anything for him to sign, really. I guess I could have got him to sign one of my comics, and that would have been really cool. But this very tight shrink wrap on this thing. So I don't know. These are not numbered or anything, but we've got cool gatefold. All right, we got the singles. That's cool. I have the Runaway Train single on CD. Somebody Shoved Black Gold, Without a Trace. And we got some little story about something or other. Liner notes. No track listings on there. And then, how do I get the records out? There we go. All right. I don't know if this is color vinyl. I don't know if there's any kind of extras in there, but we'll find out. It's nothing else in there. So we got, looks like black vinyl. Yeah, black vinyl. Okay. No extra stuff. No goodies in there, but that's okay. I wasn't really expecting it. So both the records are the same. So we've got paper sleeves, black paper sleeves, black records. The sleeves, they have white on the inside, but it's not like it's smooth, but it's not polylined or anything like that. And then the records themselves, boy, it immediately grabbed all the dog hair and stuff in this house. It is very staticky, but we've got Soul Asylum, not really a custom label. It's just got their logo on it. But very cool. I will be listening to this as soon as possible. Like I said, this is one of my favorite bands. This is one of the ones that I wanted to get. And it was at first I wasn't super into getting it because I already had a live album by them, but I didn't have the MTV Unplugged, and I figured it would be out later. And then when I found out it was an exclusive and it was limited, and it just got one of those things, you get that, what do they call it, FOMO, fear of missing out. I started getting that kind of thing going on, and I was like, well, I need to get it. And then they didn't have it at my store. If they did, they only had 1 or 2 copies probably, and somebody grabbed them. But the people that were in front of me on record store day didn't seem like people that were going to want this. I don't know. You can't tell really by looking at anybody what they want to listen to. But I just, there was a lot of Taylor Swift people there, and some guys that were more of what do you call it? The Grateful Dead kind of fans, those kind of people, and some jazz fans and stuff. So I didn't think anybody would be interested in this, but they didn't have it at my store. So Soul Asylum, MTV, or the complete Unplugged New York City '93. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really good. Most Unplugged albums are pretty good. If the ones I've heard, that's one thing MTV did do right back in the day, and I think they still do them because I saw that band. I think Bastille is the name of them that has an MTV Unplugged, and they haven't been around that long as far as I know. They got popular maybe 2 years ago, so who knows. So anyway, that's the Soul Asylum thing, and I just found a card here. That's my leather Duchess. So that's for the other record. We're gonna put that back. And that is it for this episode. Talk to you guys later.